8 of them, Dr. Hayes. 8 of them in the last 2 years. Nice girls, every one of them. Everyone hanging there like a cut hog with that hex wrote on her chest.
Oh, but surely the authorities should send someone down here to...
Oh, they do, they do. I'm getting rich just running around the swamp in my boat here. They allow it's a prevert.
You do mean pervert, don't you?
Prevert, pervert is all the same, because they ain't caught 'em. Of course, some folks say we got a witch in the swamp again.
Again?
Yeah, the old-timers say we used to have them all the time. Sort of went out of style when they started draining the swamp. Yes, sir. Some towns is famous for their rhubarb. We was famous for our witches. You say you was a Boy Scout?
Movie scout. We're looking for a movie location, scenery, and such.
Tasha. Why is Dr. Hayes pulling the old boy's leg? You know, the movie scout bit.
Well, because if you start telling people that you're doing psychic research, they think you're some kind of a nut. Are you going to put me in your article?
I'd rather put you on the magazine cover. Sell 1 million copies. You a student of Dr. Hayes?
I'm afraid not. Owen and Sharon are. Maggie's his secretary, and I'm a sensitive.
What on earth is a sensitive?
What makes the old-timers think these killings might be the work of a witch?
Dr. Hayes, a real witch is darn near immortal. I ain't talking about one of them old conjure women that sells love potions for $1. They ain't no more a witch than that little girl there. But a real honest-to-God, excuse me, Lord, witch can live for hundreds of years, providing she gets her blood regular like.
Blood.
I don't know what she does with it exactly, but she has to have it or die. And there wasn't a drop of blood left in any of them girls. It was all dreened out, careful like, and carried away. I gotta go find my... Well, there she is. Ain't never entered her out to movie folks before. Mostly hunters and such. Say, you wouldn't mind if I collected in advance, would you?
In advance? Oh, no, of course not. How much is it?
Well, now, me and my boy brung your food and gear up here yesterday, and you and your party today. And when we come and get you, that's,
3 trips.
right. And then 6 people in the cabin for 5 days. I'll have to ask about, $21.
Well, you drive a hard bargain, Mr. LeBlanc.
Well, business is business, Dr. Hayes. There's a week's fuel supply for the power plant if you don't run her night and day. Plenty of water in the cistern. Don't drink out of the swamp. It's full of fever.
We'll be careful.
Unless a feller has a boat and a guide, there's no other way out of here except through the swamp. And that's about 10 miles of gators, moccasins, and quicksand. Don't rightfully know that anybody's ever made it.
Well, I'm sure we'll be all right till Friday.
Sure you don't want me to check in on you during the week? No charge.
No, if we need anything, I'll phone you. You do have a phone.
Sure I got a phone, but you ain't.
Well, I wonder if we can apply for government aid. Would you mind turning that thing off?
Oh, sure.
Like, well, we're all free until this evening. Oh, just a minute. Maggie?
Yes.
Oh, where are we sleeping?
Well, you can take this room because it's bigger and it'll double as your office. And Vic, you and Owen can take the bunk room in there. Oh, no. I have 2 beds and 3 girls.
Why don't you and Sharon take the bedroom? I'll bunk on the couch out here.
I don't think that'd be fair.
Oh, please. I love fireplaces.
Are you sure? Sure's fine.
You got a minute?
Oh, certainly. Step into my palatial office.
Well, you're all set, Dr. Hayes. Sorry I couldn't find a red apple for you.
Well, now that we're comfortable, what's on your mind?
If I get out of line, you'll tell me, right? When the magazine first pitched me on this article, they called it an investigation of psychic phenomena. They forgot to mention murder.
Well,
Now, hear me out. I'd just like to know how you justify bringing these women out here into the boondocks where some nut seems to be knocking them off every few minutes. And right now the score is 8-love in favor of the nut.
well, if you're going to investigate something, Vic, you have to go to wherever that something is, right? Well, when we planned this trip, there hadn't been any killings for 6, 7 months. And there's no provable connection.
That still doesn't answer my
now,
question.
hold it. I didn't come blundering out here with no thought of the danger or the welfare of my group. Here's a complete report from the state police. Go ahead and read it. In every instance, the victim was isolated, alone. There are 6 of us.
It's still a calculated risk.
Which we are willing to accept.
That's laying it right on the line. Next question.
Fire away.
What's a sensitive?
Oh, you've been talking to Tasha. Well, I don't blame you. If I were a few years younger, I guess I'd be talking to her myself. What's a sensitive? You ever take any physics in school?
A couple of years.
Well, you remember when electricity flows through a wire, there's always a magnetic field around it.
That much I remember.
Any occult or psychic activity also generates a field around it. The only trouble is you can't use instruments to locate or measure it. You have to use a person who is sensitive to it.
And therefore is called a sensitive.
Right you are.
And that's Tasha.
That's Tasha.
So she's spook-oriented, huh? But why out here in this swampy nowhere?
Oh. Huh. Well, this is exactly what we want. All right, in the first place, we have a high incidence of occult activity.
In the second place, it's out of the high rent district.
Well, yes, that's true, too. The third place is a little more complicated. You see, any electrical activity, radio station, high wired, well, even the wires in the walls of a room, it can set up so much interference that a sensitive can't do her best work.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem here.
Well, there's a radio station in Gasper, goes off the air at 9 o'clock. The power plant in town is so small, I doubt if you could even measure its field. Yes, sir. I think this is just about perfect. Speaking of perfection, I seem to recall I have a bottle of excellent scotch in my luggage. Do I interest you, Mr. Gordon?
You fascinate me, Dr. Hayes.
You know, he's a funny kid.
Who? Owen?
Mm-hmm. You know, I went out with him a few times at school.
Put some on me, too, okay?
Okay.
What happened?
Nothing, darn it. I ordered a martini and he drank carrot juice.
Ugh.
He says that martinis are bad for his sweat glands or something.
I'm afraid my sweat glands will just have to fight it out for themselves.
Mine, too. There.
Thanks.
You're done. Tosh, how did you get to be a sensitive?
My mother was one, and her mother was an out-and-out witch.
Really? An actual witch?
Yep. I remember once, Mr. Baker next door was yelling at me for cutting across his lawn. Grandma put the whammy on him, and he had laryngitis for 1 month.
You're wonderful.
Where are you going?
I think I shall go throw myself at Owen again.
Satan. I have nothing which is not thine. Give me my purpose. Coventry, I command you to appear. I call you in the name of him we adore. Jesse!
I have come a great way.
You come in good time.
And you are?
Luther the Berserk, Sabbath master of this parish.
We celebrate the great Sabbath of Candlemas here in 3 days. Yet I am commanded here tonight. So I ask myself, what is so important it can't wait for 3 days, eh?
There is a woman.
It generally is. All right, now that I've had my little joke, suppose you tell me about her.
She's a woman of great beauty. There are only 12 of us now. I want to bring her into the coven.
To the coven? Does she hear the voice?
Her grandmother was a witch.
Does she hear the voice?
She hears, but she doesn't understand. Today, I cast the spell of the stones. 3 times she responded.
And now you want old Jessie to rake your chestnuts out of fire, huh?
Jessie, as Sabbath master, I can do many things. I can call underlings from great distances. I can have them whipped to death for disobeying me. Or I can reward them richly. All of these things I can do and many more. But Jessie, there are some rituals best performed by two. This is very important to me. I want no mistakes. I am told you're a past master.
Flattery hasn't turned my head in 200 years. But I like it. Luther, let's talk together like two merchants. The girl has not come forward of her own free will. Now, this thing you want, it can be done. It is very difficult, I know, but it can be done.
Jessie, I knew
Let me
that
finish. Now, if, mind you, I said, if I can control her, the master gets her soul. You get her body. And what does old Jessie get, huh?
what you want most, Jessie. Youth, beauty, a new life.
It is a difficult ritual, a blood ritual, and only a Sabbath master. The blood of a maiden drawn by steel on a night when the moon is full.
Tonight, Jessie. Tonight.
You have to take the sun down here for degrees. You could have had a sunstroke.
I feel fine. Really. Just dizzy and emotional.
Vitamins?
My Betty Bye drink.
Or just a high-powered tranquilizer. Makes her pretty groggy, but it sure tunes up her receiver. You better go sit down before you fall down.
So if she gets a signal, what happens then?
Well, we get a compass fix on it and track it down. Actually talk to the people. We brought some motion picture equipment, sound gear.
Dr. Hayes?
Yes?
Gasper just went off the air. No signal at all.
Oh, well, try and see if you pick up any signal from the power plant.
Yeah, well, you have to kill the house current.
Oh, Sharon, light the candles. Vic, would you mind? The light switch is on the front porch just to the right of the door.
Sure then.
Thank you.
I get .13 on the powerhouse.
What's your fix?
97 degrees, 13 minutes.
Figure that vector, then we'll correct Tasha's fix. Shouldn't be more than 2 degrees, 3 at the most.
What do we do now? All join hands?
You can all keep quiet if you expect any work out of me.
Well, we all ready? Nice and drowsy? All right. Let's all be quiet now. What's the matter?
Leave me alone, you old fool! All of you, leave me alone! Oh, I'm so ashamed. I don't know what's the matter with me.
What? Easy.
Was it darn son, that's all.
Listen, all this can wait till tomorrow morning. I want this one put to bed now. Get rid of that stuff, will you? And I'm going to have to take some notes, Maggie. I'll see you later. What did you see out there when you turned that light off?
Well, I didn't see anything. I thought I heard some footsteps. How'd you know?
Don't ever take up poker for a living. You haven't got the face for it.
Did it go well?
You saw. It was simple for me.
Can you control her?
I controlled her tonight. If I speak to her again, I will control her until she dies. Or until I die. Or until she takes her vows as a witch.
Good. Before the dawn breaks, you will be a maid again. This I swear. Now remember, Tasha has to get that girl away from the house and into the swamp. I want her alone. Begin. Now.
Tasha, what's going on?
His rights. The devil worship is practiced by many barbarous races as
Tosh?
And the rest of the stuff, we're just gonna have to wait until later, by golly. Enough is enough. My goodness, it's almost 2 o'clock.
That's not that late.
Maggie, you should have said something.
Well, I don't
No,
mind.
you should have.
No,
You're
really.
going to think I'm a slave
I
driver.
said I don't mind.
I'll tell you what. You sleep in tomorrow
I don't
morning
want to
and...
sleep in. Look, if I get to bed now and if I get up at 8, I'll get plenty of... Sharon's not in her room.
Good. She's not?
Dr. Hayes, that girl is not in my bedroom. She's not in the office, and she certainly isn't out here.
You mean...
I mean...
Well, why don't you look?
Why don't you look?
Why don't we both look?
I feel like such a fool.
Don't. Now that we know that she isn't in with them, we've really got a problem.
Do you think maybe she went out for some air?
At 2 o'clock in the morning? No, I think I better get the boys up.
It's still warm. Hurry now.
Hail, Satan. I have nothing which is not thine.
Satan, give me my purpose.
And she was still putting up her hair when I left her. I don't know what time it was. You two were still up. I heard you talking.
Well, that must have been about 10:30 or even earlier.
And then I came out here and fooled around for a few minutes and went right to sleep.
That's great. She could have left any time within the last 4 hours. Well, we're not going to find her standing around here. Oh, and leave the lights on so she can find the house. Maggie, some coffee might taste good when we get back.
I'll take care of it.
Let's go.
The next few moments will hold exquisite agony for me. If I cry out, do not falter. If you do, I die.
Prince of Darkness, hear me. Satan, behold thy supplicant. Satan, honor thy covenant. Satan, show thy mercy to...
Sharon, is that you? No, it's me, Vic. You see anything?
Found this. You recognize it?
It's a sweater. Oh, you mean it's at Sharon's? Gee, I wouldn't know. I get 40, 50 kids in a class. Just become one big blur. Wouldn't know what they were wearing.
You know, we could be going at this whole thing the wrong way.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I tripped over that sweater before I saw it. We could have passed within 6 feet of her a dozen times tonight without knowing it.
Yeah, and this darn thing just went out on me.
Let's head straight on down towards the water. Wait for the sun to come up. Should be about, 20, 30 minutes. Doc?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Remember the 8 girls old LeBlanc talked about?
Yeah.
Make that 9.
Remember, Vic, when I said that class of kids was just one big blur? It isn't exactly true. Some of them stand out. Some of them stand out, Vic.
It's been 50 years since a man looked at me like that. 50 years.
Should we say a prayer or something?
No, and it's only temporary. They'll want to have some kind of a service back home. I wouldn't even bury her, but 4 more days.
Did you find anything?
Snakes, deer, wild pig. More snakes. Well, this part where we are is a few hundred acres of high ground, with quicksand and marshes on one side and a swamp on the other 3 sides. It might as well be an island.
Any trails or a boat?
No boat. I followed a few animal trails. They're either petered out or dead end.
We could build a raft.
With a shovel? Our only tool. I hate to be a crepe hanger, but I'm afraid we're stuck here till Friday. Doc. Can you continue your work without Sharon?
Oh, I guess I could.
Well, let's get it rolling then. We sit around here staring at each other until Friday. LeBlanc will have to take us out of here in straitjackets.
He's right, Dr. Hayes. Moping around won't bring Sharon back.
Of course he's right, Owen. Of course he's right. Maggie?
sense bugging Doc with this, but I'd feel a lot safer if we kept a guard posted at night. Will you take the first shift?
Sure.
And I'll relieve you about 12. Look, if either of the girls leave the house, one of us goes along, right?
Right. Before you go, Vic.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of hard to put into words, but... Well, last night, before you went looking for Sharon, Tash said that she went straight to bed and didn't get up at all.
And?
Well, from where I was looking, I could see mud all over her slippers and her ankles, and after you left, she went into the kitchen and washed everything off, and she acted kind of funny about the whole thing.
We were so close. Almost like sisters.
If crying helps you, you go ahead and cry.
I keep seeing her, hanging from that awful tree.
Who said anything about a tree?
Over and over, all night long. The same awful dream.
Now, look, Doc's gonna need your help. Now, what good is a beautiful sensitive with red eyes and a runny nose?
You've been working with Tasha for quite some time, haven't you?
2, 3 years. Why?
What do you know about her? I mean, her background, her personality quirks, or emotional problems.
Her IQ's quite high. She's very emotional, inclined to be moody, and very susceptible to suggestion.
How susceptible?
Oh, extremely. I can hypnotize her and nothing flat. Of course, that's what makes her a sensitive. Excuse me.
I hope you're not going to tell me she's a witch.
Oh, you mean because of Granny and poor Mr. Baker?
Yeah.
No, you don't just inherit the title. You have to work for it.
Are you saying you believe in witchcraft?
I'm saying I believe in witches. Now, well, their craft is something I'm going to know more about after I complete this study.
But I always thought that...
You always thought that witches were little gray-haired old ladies that were framed by their neighbors, forced to confess through torture, and burned at the stake in an age of abysmal ignorance and superstition.
That about sums it up, except for the part about Halloween and brooms.
I don't think you realize how widespread this thing was, or is. Over 1 million people were executed for witchcraft prior to 1700.
Impossible.
Not over a period of 3 centuries. Hitler killed over 6 million in 3 years. We have signed confessions to most...
Obtained through torture.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Now, some of them were freely given in hopes of getting back in the good graces of the church. We know they did cast spells. They did enter into contracts with the devil. We have signed photostat copies here, dates, places, everything, the whole works. And we know they did attend big meetings or Sabbats where they danced and drank and raised hell most of the night.
Of course, they flew to these Sabbats on their brooms.
They thought they did. Now, we have the formula for the flying ointment they rubbed over their bodies prior to a Sabbat. I had enough hallucinogenic and psychedelic drugs in it to make anyone think they were flying.
Maybe that was the original trip.
It could be. No, the existence of witches isn't open to question. Either in the Middle Ages or even today, for that matter.
I find it hard to believe that people still go in for witchcraft.
Believe me, they do. Hal, how do you feel?
Just right.
Good. Now let's all be quiet and give her a chance to work. $85, 96, 87, 92. Is that all, Tasha?
Yes. Feeling isn't very strong tonight.
Well, now we're getting someplace. That was a beautiful fix. Can I get you some coffee or something?
No thanks. I think I'll go to bed. I'm very drowsy. May I give me a change in your room? Oh, sure, honey. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Vic.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Owen.
I better put the lights back on.
Oh, I think I'll go with you. Get some fresh air.
Well, at least you have the action pinpointed now.
I only wish that were true.
All you have to do is average those headings.
And I get the location of the local power plant, which I already know.
You've lost me.
Well, every heading that Tasha gave us last night was in the general area of due west, somewhere around 270 degrees. Now tonight she gives us 90-odd degrees, very close to due east. You tell me what's wrong.
So she made a mistake.
180 degrees is a pretty big mistake.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, don't be so defensive.
But you're practically accusing
And
Tasha.
you're practically shouting. I'm not accusing Tasha of anything. I am saying that the results we're getting just don't add up. And they don't add up by 180 degrees.
I'm sorry I shut off my mouth.
Well, forget it. I already have.
Would you buy this? I'm defensive about Tasha. Because I think she's somehow involved in this mess.
That I would buy.
And the fools have actually posted a guard with his little pop gun.
I thought everybody was asleep.
Everyone is asleep. But I got lonely.
Huh?
Say, is that coffee?
Yeah, you want some?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, you cold? Here, take my blanket.
Oh, no. Just keep it on. I'll share it with you. Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Sure this, isn't bad for your sweat glands?
Oh, no, not if you drink it black. I, drink it black.
This is the first time we've been alone together, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. But I've thought about it.
Why, Owen.
Oh, I don't mean it that way, Tosh.
Darling, there's nothing wrong with that way. Owen, please. Not out here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tosh. I didn't.
I'm not sorry. I want you to make love to me, but not here. Let's get away from the house a little bit, shall we?
Well,
Just a little bit. Come on.
I'm on guard duty, not too far.
Just far enough. Here I am,
Okay, Sergeant, hit the sack. Owen? Wedding time.
And you swear in fear of eternal agony that you will reveal to no one what we do here.
I swear.
Dost thou come of thine own free will?
I come of my own free will.
Do what I desire, and what I do. Thou art my God.
Thou art my God.
I am thy slave.
And I am thy slave.
By his mark shall the master know his own. I place myself at every point.
I place myself at every point.
In thy power and in thy hands.
In thy power and in thy hands.
Recognizing no other God.
Recognizing no other God.
For thou art my God.
For thou art my God.
know, I remember the first time that I ever had to do something really unpleasant. Something that I knew was going to hurt someone else. It was the first student I'd ever flunked. It was the daughter of a friend of mine, and I put it off for 2 weeks. Finally got to the place where I couldn't tell her. Tasha, where were you last night?
I was in bed.
All night, Tasha?
Yes, all night.
What did you wear to bed?
What I usually wear. My pajamas.
You had on your red nightgown when you said goodnight.
And you were wearing a red gown when you came in this morning. I saw you.
You're lying. I told you I was in bed all night.
Owen had a piece of your red gown in his hand when we found him.
If you know something, for God's sakes, tell us!
Leave me alone. Ah! I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Listen. Honey, you've got to understand we're in real danger. All of us are in real danger. And now, unless
Darling,
you can help us...
I don't want you to get hurt. I want to help you. But there's nothing I can do.
Can't you understand? This is no time.
Anything you want out of me, you have to force out of me. Can't you understand? I can't help you.
All right. Wait a minute, Vic. Wait a minute. I think we've pushed her far enough. She just needs some rest. I think we should give her one of our powders and let her relax.
You stop me. You know damn well she knows more about this.
Of course she knows. She told us that. She also told us, or tried to tell us, that she can't talk about it.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I don't know what I mean exactly either, except that I do know this. If she's got some information locked in her subconscious, I know how to get it out.
Hypnosis?
Exactly.
She'd never stand still for it.
When those tranquilizers start to work, in about 20 minutes, you won't have any choice.
20 minutes. In 20 minutes, it'll be dark. I might as well tell Owen to... I'll go get some firewood.
Poor Owen. All his life, he went with the weights and the wheat germ. Treated his body like a fine watch. Now he's just as dead as if he'd been a bum or a wino. There's a moral there someplace. I wish you'd tell me what it is.
I'm no philosopher. I'm the guy that gets the firewood.
Was Owen dead when you left him?
I think so. He wasn't moving.
After you made the profession, did you sign anything? Anything at all?
No. It was not my time to sign the pact.
When will you make the pact?
Candlemas. Sabbath.
That's tomorrow night. And it's a blood ritual. Will you use Sharon's blood?
Not Sharon's. Maggie's. Maggie's blood.
Were you marked? Did they mark you?
my back.
Well, now we know what we're up against. And his name is Luther.
That's done. Again.
Yeah.
You know, the dirt from that grave was flung all over the place, almost like an explosion.
That figures. Did she see you bury Owen?
Stretched out in the sun over there. What does it matter?
You remember that she was hypnotized last night, and I don't suppose she remembers a thing. And I want to keep it that way. Well, for now, at least.
You sound like you've been doing more thinking.
Most of the night.
You know any more than you did?
Yeah. Of course, a lot of it's still conjecture. Is there any coffee up at the house?
Yeah?
If I'm right, there are things going on in the swamp that haven't been heard of in centuries. I think our friend Luther is a berserk.
A berserk? Since when has berserk been a noun?
No, not for hundreds of years. They were hunted down and killed off. The berserks use blood for their ceremonies. Fresh human blood. And the only way to get it was to kill somebody, so they were hunted down like rattlesnakes.
Is there any chance Luther is a phony?
Did that experience with Owen's body look like amateur night to you?
Well, I'm sure there's a logical explanation for that.
Let's hear it.
I just don't want to believe in witchcraft. It goes against everything I've ever trained my mind to believe. Why can't we go shoot Luther through the head just for openers?
Still leaves Jesse. And Jesse is still in control of Tasha.
So we shoot Jesse, too.
Now, there's a good idea. Where is she?
How would I know where...
Now we're getting down to it. Aside from giving up the two girls, what alternatives do we have?
Well, since we can't run, I guess we have two alternatives. Either we can stand pat here, or we go out and try to whip Luther.
Right. Now, if we hold up here and try to protect Tasha and Maggie, I mean, he gets them and kills us in the bargain. Last night's experience showed us we can't stand up to him. Second possibility is that we go after him. Now, that's the last thing that he'll be prepared for. That's the last thing he'll think that we'll do.
So we'd have that advantage on our side.
Right. Exactly. Maggie?
Yeah.
You were raised on a farm. You know what wild garlic looks like?
Sure.
Well, you go out in the kitchen and get a paper bag, and you collect all you can find. I want you to put it in my office, but don't let Tasha see you.
Right. Right now?
Right now, Scoop. Now, until this thing is ironed out, we'll have to realize that Tasha's on their side. I'll keep her busy for the rest of the day with some kind of trumped-up work.
I understand. What do you want me to do?
Get Owen's rifle. You're going hunting.
For Luther?
Wild pig. So this afternoon, I gave her a bunch of phony tests to keep her busy. On the last one, I slipped her the powder. She's still sleeping?
Like a baby. Well, is that what you wanted?
Well, you are now invisible. To a witch, at least.
You've never actually tried this garlic bait, Doc. You know anyone who has?
No, but I can show you a dozen references that maintain that garlic makes a mortal invisible to a witch.
Oh, damn it, Doc. I just don't feel invisible.
Well, you better hope it works. It's our best shot.
Well, you better hope it works, too. I've got the rifle. All you've got's a can full of blood.
Whose?
Not whose, what's. That blood was from a pig that Vic shot this afternoon.
Oh, that poor little thing.
Was his blood or yours? Look, are you sure you don't mind being used for live bait?
Sure I mind. What's the alternative?
Oh, Maggie, you're all right.
Oh, and you smell like a dropout from a pizza parlor.
Listen, no matter what kind of a story that Tasha hands you, you go along with her. I mean, let her lead you out of the house, but don't make her suspicious.
Right, let her get you into the swamp. And then when Luther tries to jump you, we'll jump him. And your part of it is over.
Yeah, I'm sure. You missed. My part's still over, right? Oh, what a setup.
Like she said before, what's the alternative?
Button your sweater up.
Hail, Satan. I have nothing which is not thine. Satan, give me my purpose. My brothers and sisters, I command you to appear. Warlock of San Blas. One wide. Goody hail. The Hag of Devon. Felicity Johnson. Lezange. El Ahishma. Amos Coffin. Notre Tangier. Martha. Amsterdam.
You've come a great way.
You come in good time.
knows Maggie's coming from the house.
Hey, how about here? Was this where we found Sharon's sweater?
Yeah. So if we're going to get behind him, let's try back that way. You can see the clearing from there, too.
Silence. I will speak of discipline. Martha of Amsterdam, you stand accused of gossip about this coven, Martha. I'll plead you.
Guilty.
For the first offense, the lash. For the second, strangulation. Since the beginning of time, the Master has seen fit to have 13 of the faithful in every coven. Yet we number but 12. As Sabbath Master of this coven, I have professed a novice. Her name is Tasha. Tonight she makes her pact.
Takes blood to make a pact, Luther.
There will be blood when it is time for blood. And Tasha will be here in her time.
Jesse!
Jesse, call Tasha.
Where'd you learn that gun bit?
The service. I always wondered if it would work.
You never tried it before?
No, I was the company clerk. But at least we know the garlic works.
No, we don't. He was flat on his back before he had a chance to see you. Ouch.
We'll just have to chance it.
Darn it.
What's the matter?
Long fingernails.
You both stay here till I get back, and if that joker moves a muscle, shoot him.
You hold that blood bag until the last minute. If they get suspicious.
I know. Just sit tight.
I'm sorry about your,
Try chest.
I was going to say thorax.
Oh, God. The academic mind.
Watch who you're shoving.
The little scut.
Everything okay?
Hasn't moved a muzzle. Vic really clobbered him.
I wonder what'll happen when they use the pig blood.
Well, it should be like putting salt in a sugar bowl. If they drink it, it just might kill them. They just sort of rub it on, who knows? If I only knew what ritual they were
He
using.
moved.
Oh, I don't...
I saw him. He moved.
Well, just take it easy. I'll go check him.
It will be dawn soon.
I can see the candle without your help.
You have the blood. You have the blood. Give it to Jesse.
Where did you get that?
It's the blood.
Did Luther send it?
Luther?
The blood is here! Tasha will make her pact! I place myself at every point.
I place myself at every point.
In thy power and in thy hands.
In thy power and in thy hands.
Recognizing no other God.
Recognizing no other God.
For thou art my God.
For thou art my God.
If you love him, then drink what he has provided. Do you accept the Master for all eternity?
I accept the Master for all eternity.
Then make your pact as we bear witness. What did you put in that bucket?
Jesse!
Huh?
Wait!
Huh?
It's all over, Jesse. It was pig blood.
Vic? Oh, Vic.
getting you. Come on.
Quick, Sharon! Oh, hold it. We're gonna have it out with him right here.
No one has ever defiled my Sabbath and lived.
Look, somehow garlic destroys a witch's power.
But how?
I don't know how, but I do know that he can't see me right now. I'm gonna get this around his neck.
I offered you eternal life. And you profaned my sanctuary.
You're the bait. Stand there. Trust me.
You preferred certain death to Luther. Now you shall have both. Ha ha ha!